Ancient scriptures speak of a place of confinement for rebellious spirits. The Bible calls it the abyss, the bottomless pit. Could this be a mere metaphor, a figment of theological imagination? Or does it point to a physical reality, a location on our very own Earth? Many researchers looking at the desolate, remote and largely unexplored continent of Antarctica wonder aloud. They ask if this vast, icy wilderness, shrouded in perpetual cold and darkness for months, could be the earthly anchor for such a dreaded realm. The sheer isolation of Antarctica makes it a candidate unlike any other on this planet, a natural prison of immense proportions. Consider the Book of Enoch, an ancient text not included in all biblical canons. It describes angels who descended, who sinned, and who were subsequently bound. They were cast into a place of desolation. Where else on earth is more desolate, more fitting for such a divine judgment than the southernmost continent? Its landscape is hostile, unforgiving, and kilometers of ice press down upon the land beneath. If powerful entities were to be imprisoned, what better chains than the crushing weight of a continental ice sheet? The texts are old, their language often symbolic, yet the descriptions resonate with the chilling reality of Antarctica, a land at the very end of the world. Is it merely coincidence that this continent remains so fiercely guarded, so difficult to access? The spiritual and the physical often intertwine in ways our modern science struggles to comprehend. Could the abyss be more than just a spiritual dimension? Could it have a terrestrial counterpart, a place where the veil between worlds is thin, or where something ancient and powerful slumbers fitfully? The legends of many cultures speak of netherworlds, of frozen hells. Perhaps these are not just stories to scare children, perhaps they are fragmented memories, distorted accounts of a truth connected to the land beneath the South Pole, a place of profound spiritual significance. The prophecies often link the opening of such places with end-time events, a great shaking, a revelation of things long hidden. If Antarctica is indeed connected to the abyss, or is the prison of fallen beings, then its future and the future of what lies beneath its ice is of paramount importance to all of humanity. The ice is melting, scientists tell us. What will be revealed when the ancient seals of frost and snow finally give way? Are we prepared for the truths that might emerge from the frozen depths, truths that could rewrite our understanding of history, spirituality, and our place in the cosmos itself? Now, Antarctica is a land of secrets. It is the coldest, driest, and windiest continent. It is also one of the most inaccessible places on Earth. Why is this so? Some say it is for science, for pristine research. But the level of control, the military presence, the strict regulations on travel, it all seems excessive for just studying penguins and ice cores. There are persistent rumors of no-fly zones over certain areas not marked on any public maps. Independent expeditions are heavily discouraged, often outright blocked. What is it that the world powers do not want us to see in this vast white desert? Think about the resources invested. Many nations maintain bases there at tremendous cost. These are not simple research outposts. Some are like small towns, equipped with advanced technology. They operate year-round, even through the brutal Antarctic winter. Is this purely for peaceful scientific collaboration, as the official narrative suggests? Or is there another agenda, a hidden purpose behind this massive international presence? The secrecy fuels speculation. It creates an atmosphere of mystery, suggesting that Antarctica holds something far more significant than just ice and rock. Something worth guarding so closely, something that must be kept from public knowledge at all costs. Many brave whistleblowers and former military personnel have hinted at strange goings-on. They speak of unusual aerial phenomena, of discoveries hushed up, of research that delves into areas far beyond conventional science. The official explanations are often flimsy, unconvincing. They talk of weather balloons, of optical illusions. But the consistency of these unofficial reports, coming from credible sources over decades, paints a different picture. It suggests a coordinated effort to manage information, to control what the world knows or doesn't know about the southernmost continent. Why such elaborate efforts to maintain this veil of secrecy over what is supposedly just a frozen wasteland? The Antarctic Treaty system itself, while ostensibly promoting peace and science, also centralizes control. It creates a framework where a select group of nations effectively govern the continent. Could this treaty be a sophisticated mechanism to ensure that any discoveries of profound, perhaps unsettling significance are managed by a global elite? The pursuit of knowledge should be open, transparent. Yet, when it comes to Antarctica, transparency seems to be in very short supply. This naturally leads inquiring minds to ask, what are they truly protecting? Or more disturbingly, what are they protecting us from knowing about this enigmatic land of ice? The legends are ancient. They speak of beings of great power, angels who rebelled against the divine order. These are the fallen angels, the watchers from the Book of Enoch, or the Nephilim spoken of in Genesis. According to these old stories, they were cast out, imprisoned. Where could such powerful entities be held captive? Some researchers point towards Antarctica. They suggest that beneath the crushing weight of its kilometers-thick ice sheet lies the prison of these very beings. A prison designed to hold them until a prophesied time of release, perhaps during the tumultuous period known as the end times. Imagine the implications if this were true. Beings of immense knowledge, perhaps possessing technologies far beyond our current understanding, locked away in a frozen stasis. The ice acts as a perfect insulator, a perfect preserver. Could it also be a perfect cage? Scientists have detected strange magnetic anomalies beneath the Antarctic ice. There are reports of unusual energy signatures, unexplained heat sources causing subglacial lakes to form. Could these be signs of something more than just geological activity? Could they be related to the presence of something or someone ancient and incredibly powerful, stirring beneath the frozen surface? The sheer scale of Antarctica is difficult to comprehend, an entire continent buried under ice. If such entities were indeed imprisoned there, the ice would not only serve as a physical barrier, but also as a seal hiding them from the outside world. For millennia, they would have remained undisturbed, their existence fading into myth and legend. But now the ice is changing. Global warming, or perhaps other, less understood forces, are causing the glaciers to melt at an accelerating rate. What happens if this icy prison begins to thaw? What happens if the seals are broken? The stories of fallen angels are often dismissed as mere mythology, but mythology frequently contains kernels of truth, distorted echoes of real events from the distant past. If beings with advanced capabilities once interacted with humanity and were subsequently defeated and imprisoned, Antarctica offers a chillingly plausible location for their confinement. The very desolation and inaccessibility of the continent would make it an ideal place to hide something of such immense significance, something the ancient powers wanted to ensure remained buried and forgotten, until perhaps now the whispers are growing louder. What if long before recorded history great civilizations flourished on Earth? Civilizations with knowledge and technologies that rival or even surpass our own. Legends of Atlantis, Lemuria, and other lost worlds abound in ancient cultures across the globe. Could Antarctica have been home to one such civilization, or perhaps a crucial outpost? There are tantalizing clues. The famous Piri Reis map, drawn in 1513, appears to show the coast of Antarctica. But here is the mystery. It depicts the coastline free of ice. How was this possible, centuries before the continent was officially discovered and surveyed? This suggests access to ancient source maps created by a seafaring people who knew the globe intimately, perhaps thousands or even tens of thousands of years ago when Antarctica's climate was very different. Some theories propose that a sudden cataclysm, like a pole shift, caused the continent to freeze over rapidly, trapping whatever was there beneath a thick blanket of ice. If a sophisticated civilization existed there, its cities, its temples, its technology would be perfectly preserved, flash frozen in time, waiting for discovery, waiting to tell its story. A story that could completely overturn our understanding of human history. There are reports, often dismissed or suppressed, of strange structures detected beneath the Antarctic ice. Satellite imagery has revealed formations that look remarkably like pyramids, straight lines, and other artificial-looking features. Ground-penetrating radar surveys have hinted at complex structures buried deep below. Could these be the ruins of ancient cities, perhaps even outposts established by extraterrestrial visitors in the distant past, as some theories suggest? The geothermal heat beneath parts of Antarctica could have sustained life, even created habitable environments in subglacial caverns long after the surface froze over. The implications are staggering. Imagine discovering evidence of a lost human civilization, one that possessed advanced science, perhaps even forms of energy production or transportation we can only dream of? Or what if the builders were not human at all? The secrecy surrounding Antarctica takes on a new dimension if such possibilities are considered. The revelation of such a truth would not just rewrite history books, it would shake the very foundations of our societies, our religions, our understanding of who we are and where we come from. Perhaps this is why the ice is so closely guarded. Section 5. Shadows of the Swastika, Nazi Germany's Antarctic ambitions. In the years leading up to World War II, Nazi Germany displayed an unusually keen interest in Antarctica. This was not merely a scientific curiosity. In 1938-39, they launched a major expedition under Captain Alfred Richer. They meticulously surveyed a vast area of Queen Maud Land, dropping swastika flags from their aircraft to claim territory. They named this region Neuschwabenland, or New Swabia. What were they truly seeking in this remote and inhospitable land? The official explanation was to secure whaling grounds and test military equipment in extreme conditions. But many suspect far deeper, more occult motivations. The Nazi regime was deeply involved in esoteric beliefs in the search for ancient relics and hidden knowledge. Organizations like the Ahnenerbe, the Ancestral Heritage Research Unit, scoured the globe for evidence to support their racial theories and to find powerful artifacts. Antarctica, with its aura of mystery and its connection to legends of Hollow Earth and lost Aryan homelands like Thule, would have been an irresistible target. Rumors persist that the Nazis were searching for an entrance to a subterranean world, or perhaps a hidden oasis, warmed by geothermal vents where they could establish a secret base, far from the prying eyes of their enemies. Did they find something? The historical record is murky, deliberately obscured perhaps. There are persistent tales of German U-boats continuing to operate in the South Atlantic long after the war ended. Some stories even claim that high-ranking Nazis, including possibly Hitler himself, escaped to a secret Antarctic sanctuary. While these claims are often sensationalized, the core question remains. What discoveries, if any, did the Neuschwabenland expedition make? Did they find evidence of ancient structures, unusual energy sources, or perhaps even contact with non-human intelligences said to reside within or beneath the ice? The end of the war did not end the mystery, instead it deepened. The knowledge gained by the Nazis, if any, about Antarctica's secrets would have been highly prized by the Allied powers. Could this have been one of the unspoken reasons for the intense post-war focus on the continent by nations like the USA and the Soviet Union? The shadows of the swastika cast a long, cold pall over the Antarctic ice, hinting at discoveries that remain classified, part of a hidden history that connects the political machinations of the 20th century to far older and far stranger secrets. Section 6 Operation High Jump, a naval armada confronts the unknown. Just over a year after World War II concluded in 1946-47, the United States launched an enormous naval expedition to Antarctica. It was codenamed Operation High Jump. Led by the famous polar explorer Admiral Richard E. Byrd, it was a massive undertaking. It involved an aircraft carrier, destroyers, icebreakers, submarines, and nearly 5,000 men. The official purpose was scientific research and training in cold weather conditions, but the sheer scale of the operation, its military nature and its abrupt and premature termination have fueled decades of speculation. Was there more to High Jump than met the eye? Admiral Byrd himself made some cryptic statements upon his return. He spoke of the necessity for the USA to prepare for a potential conflict with an enemy that could fly from pole to pole with incredible speed. He mentioned seeing new types of aircraft that were extremely fast and maneuverable. These statements were quickly downplayed by officials, and Byrd was reportedly ordered to remain silent. What did he and his men encounter in the Antarctic? There were reports of unexplained losses of aircraft and personnel. The mission, planned for 6 to 8 months, was cut short after only about 8 weeks. Why the sudden retreat? Could Operation High Jump have been a military response to a perceived threat? Perhaps a mission to investigate or even dismantle lingering Nazi bases rumored to exist in Neuschwabenland? Or did they encounter something far more advanced, something not of human origin? The stories speak of disc-shaped craft emerging from the water, engaging US forces. While official records are sanitized or sealed, the unofficial accounts and persistent rumors paint a picture of a confrontation, a stark warning that humanity was not alone, and that certain regions of our planet were perhaps off-limits or fiercely protected by unknown entities. The legacy of Operation High Jump is one of unanswered questions and a deep sense of unease. It suggests that the Antarctic is not merely a desolate wasteland, but a place of strategic and perhaps even extraterrestrial significance. The heavy military presence and the subsequent secrecy surrounding the continent seem to underscore this possibility. If a technologically superior force capable of challenging a major naval armada operates in or from Antarctica, then the global powers would undoubtedly want to keep this knowledge under tight control. The silence surrounding High Jump's true objectives and outcomes is deafening. Section 7, the Antarctic Treaty, a global pact of silence or science. In 1959, amidst the tensions of the Cold War, 12 nations, including the USA and the Soviet Union, signed the Antarctic Treaty. This landmark agreement dedicated the continent to peaceful purposes, primarily scientific research. It prohibited military activities, nuclear explosions, and the disposal of radioactive waste. On the surface, it seems like a commendable example of international cooperation, preserving a pristine environment for the good of all humankind. But could there be another layer to this treaty? Could it also serve as a sophisticated mechanism to control access and information, effectively sealing off Antarctica's deepest secrets from the wider world? Consider the timing. The treaty was signed shortly after the International Geophysical Year, which was 1957 to 58, which saw unprecedented scientific activity in Antarctica. It also followed years of speculation and rumor surrounding Nazi activities and the mysteries encountered during Operation High Jump. Was the treaty a way for the major powers, having perhaps glimpsed something extraordinary or alarming, to collectively manage the situation? By declaring it a scientific preserve and banning resource exploitation, they effectively put the continent on ice, preventing any independent entities or corporations from stumbling upon something they shouldn't. The treaty establishes a club of consultative parties, the nations that conduct substantial research activity there. These nations hold the decision-making power. While it promotes scientific collaboration, it also means that any discoveries of a sensitive nature can be contained within this select group. Think about it. If evidence of advanced ancient civilizations, extraterrestrial bases, or imprisoned fallen angels were found, would this information be openly shared with the public? Or would it be deemed too disruptive, too dangerous for the existing world order? The treaty provides the perfect framework for such information control, all under the benign guise of peaceful scientific endeavor. Furthermore, the treaty is not permanent. It is subject to review. As technologies advance and as the ice continues to melt, the pressure to explore and exploit Antarctica's hidden potential will undoubtedly grow. What happens then? Will the pact of silence hold, or will the secrets be too monumental to contain? The Antarctic Treaty, while lauded for its peaceful aims, also casts a long shadow of control over the most mysterious continent on Earth. It begs the question, is it truly about protecting Antarctica, or is it about protecting the rest of us from what Antarctica might reveal? Section 8. Prophecies of the Great Unveiling, What the Future Holds. Many spiritual scriptures and ancient prophecies speak of a time of great upheaval and revelation, a time when secrets long buried will come to light, and the true history of humanity and the Earth will be unveiled. Could Antarctica play a central role in these prophesied end-time events? The melting of its massive ice sheets, a scientifically observed phenomenon, aligns intriguingly with such predictions. Imagine vast ancient landscapes, and whatever they conceal, slowly emerging from their frozen tomb after millennia. This would surely be a revelation of global significance. Biblical texts, like the Book of Revelation, speak of the abyss being opened and its denizens being released. If, as some speculate, Antarctica is connected to this abyss or is a prison for ancient entities, then its thawing could be the literal mechanism for such an event. The unsealing of Antarctica could unleash not just physical landmasses and ancient artifacts, but perhaps also spiritual forces or forgotten technologies that could profoundly alter the course of human civilization. Such an event would not be merely a scientific curiosity, it would be a spiritual catalyst, challenging beliefs and forcing a re-evaluation of our place in the cosmos. Spiritual traditions from around the world, not just Abrahamic faiths, contain narratives of cosmic cycles, of ages ending and new ages dawning. These transitions are often marked by the return of ancient beings, the rediscovery of lost wisdom, or cataclysmic earth changes that reveal hidden truths. Antarctica, as a symbol of the unknown and the deeply buried, fits perfectly into such prophetic frameworks. Its unveiling could signify a critical juncture in human consciousness, a point where humanity is forced to confront uncomfortable truths about its past and its potential future. Are we prepared for such a paradigm shift? The scriptures also speak of a time of choosing, of discernment. As these revelations unfold, whether from Antarctica or elsewhere, humanity will be faced with new knowledge and new challenges. Understanding these prophecies is not about fear-mongering. It is about encouraging a state of preparedness, a spiritual awareness that allows us to navigate these momentous changes with wisdom and courage. The future of Antarctica and what lies beneath its ice may very well be intertwined with the future destiny of humankind. As foretold in texts written thousands of years ago, the ice is melting, and perhaps so too is the veil. Section 9. Awakening to the Antarctic Enigma. Our role in a changing world. The mysteries of Antarctica are not just for scientists and governments to ponder. They touch upon the very core of our existence, our history, and our spiritual understanding. Therefore, it is crucial for every individual to awaken to the Antarctic enigma. We must cultivate a curious mind, a mind that questions the official narratives and seeks deeper truths. The information age provides us with tools to research, to connect disparate pieces of information, and to form our own conclusions. Do not passively accept what is presented. Dig deeper. Ask the uncomfortable questions. The truth about Antarctica may be far stranger and more profound than we can imagine. Spiritual preparedness is paramount. If the prophecies are true, if ancient entities or world-altering technologies are indeed hidden beneath the ice, their eventual revelation will undoubtedly send shockwaves across the globe. Our current belief systems, our societal structures, our very understanding of reality could be challenged. In such times, a strong spiritual anchor becomes essential. This means cultivating inner peace, discernment, and a connection to a higher truth, whatever that may mean for each individual. This inner strength will be our guide through any period of confusion or upheaval that may arise from these potential disclosures. We must also foster a sense of global community. The secrets of Antarctica, if they are as significant as many believe, belong to all of humanity, not just a select few nations or secretive organizations. We must advocate for transparency and open sharing of knowledge. The future that unfolds from these revelations will affect everyone. Therefore, everyone should have a voice in how this knowledge is integrated into our collective understanding. This requires moving beyond nationalistic or materialistic perspectives and embracing our shared identity as inhabitants of planet Earth, facing a potentially transformative future together. The call to action is clear. Educate yourself, engage in thoughtful discussion, strengthen your spiritual foundations, and remain vigilant. The continent of Antarctica, long shrouded in ice and mystery, may soon take center stage in the unfolding drama of human history. By being aware, by being prepared, we can play a conscious role in navigating the challenges and opportunities that these future revelations may bring. The Antarctic enigma is not just a geographical puzzle. It is a spiritual quest, inviting us all to look beneath the surface, both of the ice and of our own consciousness.